Hi guys, today's gonna be kind of a different video. Obviously it's not an Dolly Dreams video, but I did this last year and I'm gonna do it again this year. Today is World Autism Day. April 2nd every year is World Autism Day. April itself is World Autism Month, or Autism Awareness Month, but specifically April 2nd is World Autism Day. People are encouraged to wear blue or wear something like with a puzzle piece on it and get blue lights like on your porch. We actually have our blue lights out all year. If people are looking for blue lights to put on their porch, you can purchase them. Our Walmart has them. But I typically buy the ones from Home Depot. It does every year specifically for Autism Speaks. The proceeds go to Autism Speaks. There's a lot of people out there that don't care for Autism Speaks. It's a personal preference. My family personally supports them. They have helped us in many ways. Where a lot of people are upset because they think they're trying to cure autism. I don't get that from them. I don't get that feeling from them. I get the feeling that they're not trying to necessarily cure autism, but they're trying to help people with autism in the way of, like, you know, physical therapy, occupational therapy, stuff like that. My son has personally benefited from them with one of their, he received one of the grants for one of their iPads a few years ago. He also received a grant to go to a camp for children with autism a couple years ago as well. So, I mean, my family has personally benefited from it. I know there's a lot of families out there that don't care for it because they don't feel that Autism Speaks does enough. Where in reality, there are people out there that would know absolutely nothing about autism if it wasn't for Autism Speaks. And like currently I've been seeing a few more of their ads again on TV now that we're getting to April and Autism Awareness Month and World Autism Day. But this year I'm going to read a different book. I read a book last year, and we have two different books. This is the one I'm choosing to read this year. We have multiple different autism books. My son will be taking this one and the one that I read last year to school, and his teacher is going to decide which one to read to the class. So I thought I would read this one to everybody out there. This one is called My Friend with Autism, and this one is the enhanced edition with the CD with coloring pages, and that's more for like teachers. It's got the CD right here, and like a teacher can print off like the coloring pages for classrooms to color. So let's jump right into this. I have a friend with autism. He is very good at many things. My friend's ears work really well. He can hear sounds I may not ever hear. He almost always the first one to hear an airplane or a train coming. That's why he sometimes covers his ears, even when things don't seem loud to me. My friend's eyes work really well. He sees little things that might not even notice. His eyes work so well that bright lights or sunny days will often hurt his eyes. My friend's sense of taste works really well. He can taste even a little bit of pepper in his food. This is why he only eats certain foods, and why sometimes he doesn't want foods that are too hot or too cold. My friend has a strong sense of touch. He can feel the smallest little things touching him. This makes him very ticklish. Sometimes he doesn't like to be touched. Other times, his sense of touch makes him want me to touch him. If I don't want to touch him, I ask him nicely not to touch me. Oh, wait. If I don't want him to touch me, I ask him nicely not to touch me. Oh, Other times he needs a sense of touch, so he wants to touch me. There we go. And I know that's very true for my son. My friend is very strong. Sometimes he forgets how strong he is and gives hugs that are too hard. Sometimes he plays too rough with me. I can help him by reminding him to be gentle, and by reminding him not to play too roughly myself. I can help my friend by playing games with lots of moving, running, dancing, swinging. When I play with my friend, I don't have to worry that I will get autism, because autism cannot be caught like a cold or flu. My friend is very smart. He's good at counting, the alphabet, and many other things. He knew the letters of the alphabet when he was a little boy. My friend likes when we play letters and numbers. He likes to spell and count. That is very true of my son. Just like me, my friend is good at playing. He especially loves to play with cars, trucks, trains, and other things that spin. Sometimes he plays in different ways than I do. So I watch the way he plays. Then I try to do what he is doing, right next to him. Sometimes he will watch me play, and he might try to do what I do too. My friend with autism is good at many things, but his autism also makes it hard for some things. Talking is sometimes hard for my friend, but when he doesn't talk, my feelings are not hurt because I understand that talking is hard for him. Sometimes I can even help him by suggesting some words that he might want to say. My friend still wants to play with me even if he doesn't talk much. I just play and talk with him, even if he doesn't talk or if his words don't make sense to me. Understanding other people's feelings is hard for my friend. He does not always understand that I have feelings too. When I see a person crying, I know that person is probably sad. But when my friend sees a person crying, he may not understand what that means. Okay, guys, I gotta shift a little bit. Sharing is hard for my friend. He does not understand how much fun it can be to share his toys, or that my feelings are hurt when he takes toys away from me. Sometimes I ask my friend to share with me, but he says no, or he does not answer me. If I think he really should be sharing, I usually ask an adult for help. Change is often hard for my friend. When he is doing things and it's time to start something else different, he gets frustrated. I try to help him by telling him what is going to happen next. For example, just before recess, I remind him we will be going outside in just a few minutes. Sitting still is quite hard for my friend. When it's time to sit quietly, I can help him and show him how well I sit. Sometimes I can help him by reminding him to use his quiet voice. Because some things are hard for my friend, adults may use pictures to help him understand better. I like seeing his pictures and learning what they mean. Sometimes I can use his pictures to help him with things like sharing, changing activities, or understand feelings. Just like me, my friend does many things very well, and some things are hard for him. Just like me, my friend with autism loves to have friends. The end. And then it's just got some information in the back about other autism books, kind of different things teachers can talk about with students. We purposely got this book for my son to take to school, to share with his class, as well as a few other books, because we find it important that he shares. I mean, he knows he has autism. He has an alter ego of sorts, and he calls that super autism. And he is a superhero in that sense. And you know what? We empower that. We are not... I'm not one that, like... How to word it? I know some people don't like their kids knowing they have autism, or they don't want other people to know their child has autism. But honestly, we embrace it because it's part of my son. It's not going to go away. It's never going to go away. Autism is not a disease. It is not to be cured. There are tools to help him cope with our society, and there are things to help us cope with how his brain functions. So we found it important to have books like this in his little library, so when it comes to like World Autism Day, he can take them to school and share them. And that's what World Autism Day and Autism Awareness Month is about. Last year, his teacher shared one of his books with the class, and I got a phone call from his teacher, and she was tearful in the phone call, and it wasn't a bad one. She said, she was reading the book, and one of the little boys raised his hand, and he goes, "I've heard my son's name say he has autism. So how can we help him in school?" And I mean, the teacher was just floored, because I guess this little boy kind of was in trouble and stuff. And I mean, he was very sincere about wanting to know what the class could do to help my son. And that's the only frustration, is how Autism Awareness Month and stuff comes at the end of a school year, essentially. But there's a few kids in his class this year that were in his class last year, and he knows when... He's unaware sometimes when kids are making fun of him, but he's also aware sometimes when kids are making fun of him. And at the beginning of school, he came home one day, and he was a little upset, and I'm like, "Well, what's the matter?" And he goes, "So-and-so was making fun of me because I fiddle my fingers." And that he has a finger stim, and he calls it fiddling his fingers. So I'm like, "So what did you tell him?" And he goes, "I didn't have to tell him, because one of the little boys in his class last year told this little boy, 'I have autism and it's not to be made fun of. I can't help what's going on.'" So, I mean, getting that out there, I mean, he has been bringing these books to school since kindergarten. Like I said, there's different books. I sent about 3 different books to school, and I let the teacher decide which one or ones she wants to share with the school or the class. So, I mean, that's where I feel like, we're getting that awareness out there, and kids in his class are accepting of him, where I have friends with older children that the kids in their class aren't as accepting. So that's why I find this very important. So I hope everybody has a great World Autism Day, and I hope you are wearing blue for today. And I will see everyone later. Bye!